Okay, let's run.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to And I Quote. This is a weekly show where we introduce you to creators of all shapes and sizes that join us from any and all corners of the universe. We find out more about them by taking your questions. I am your host, Ryan of And I Quote channel, and our guest on this episode is, this seems to be a week of sequels. Dr. Richard A. Olson was on this week with us on And I Quote, and now we got, this young man to come back. He is a indie comic writer and creator, and he's got a Kickstarter going on right now. We're going to talk more about that a little bit later on in this broadcast. But please welcome our good friend from a million miles away. I forget where he's joining us from in his studio right now, but hey, the bottom line is he's here. He's here to take your questions. He's here to share some wonderful things with us. Please welcome Guido Martinez is back for his sequel. Hello, good sir. How are you?
Hi, Ryan. Thanks for having me. I'm from Argentina, by the way, Buenos Aires. So yeah, more or less, you nailed it with the distance.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks for having me again. And yes, like you said, let's hope we can get more sequels on this, and I can continue coming back on your show.
Yeah, yes, we're more than happy to continue having you here. Sorry, I got a little notification on my side of the fence here, but thank you for joining us. Now, if you have any questions for our guests as we go throughout the course of this episode, please let us know in those comments. Let us know in the chat. We're more than happy to take those as they come in. Do not forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. And if you're joining this live or what is known as a replay, we specifically thank you so much for being with us. Now, before we address some of the things that our good friend Mr. Martinez has got going on right now, I want to ask you just a few things here. Have you read any good comic books lately outside of your stuff?
Yes, I've been honestly reading some great indie comics, mostly from small publishers. To name a few, Page Alfred's Chess, special special ops unit, more along the lines of a mixture of superhero and GI Joe. That is going strong, and he's still publishing. So yes, it's worth noticing. Of course, Tragedy by Philip Russert. He is my publisher at Filbo Publishing. That is a great series. It's about a ballerina assassin who, has to fight for her life against other rival mobs and all the super-powered assassins that they send. It's mixture between John Wick and all of the traditional ninja assassins, say Daredevil, Elektra, that sort of thing. It's a really cool story, but also has a lot of heart. So what else? Yes, well, I'd have to recommend one book that I am also lettering, but I also have to recommend from Panico Press. Or Panic Press. I'm not sure. I think it's Panico Press, as in Spanish, because they're from Puerto Rico, but they publish in English. Gunbreed, a series of horror stories about a haunted town in the Old West. It's really solid work. So what else? Well, more or less mainstream. Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson is really great. It's extremely violent, so it's not something that I would read to my kids yet, but eventually, yes, I plan on getting a collected a collected copy just for me, and in the future, yes, when my kids are old enough, then yes, if they're old enough to play Mortal Kombat, yes, they can read that just fine. But yes, those are I think that's what I've been enjoying lately, and the the main shout outs I want to give.
Well done, good sir, and thank you for doing so and mentioning some names that people should check out, some comic books, indie comic books that people should check out and get some of their buy some of their books, buy some of their issues, read them, whether it's through physical form or digital copy, PDF form, however you want to go about it, respectively. Really good stuff. Have you seen any good movies lately? Any good movies, whether it's in the comic book realm or outside of the comic book realm?
Movies. That's tricky. Most of my time, I recently, my wife has recently had our third child, so I'm not getting much free time. But we are what little time we have at night after all the kids have gone to bed, we try to catch up on old series that we didn't get a chance to finish. Movies that are good, um, not so much, but I did enjoy lately one that I've been meaning to watch. Uh, Renfield. It was a horror comedy from a couple years ago. I finally got the time to watch it, and I had a blast. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it so much. I actually loved it. Uh, let's see what else. Godzilla minus one. I saw it, and yes, it's much better than any other Godzilla movie I've seen. I haven't seen all of them, of course. There are a ton, but out of the ones that I've seen, both Japanese and Western, this is definitely my favorite. Uh, no, I think that's it. At least not much that come to mind.
No, I understand that. And by the way, congratulations on the birth of your new child. You said it was child number three.
Yeah,
Congrats, way to go. You're gonna have many sleepless nights for the next 20 years. So
yeah, I know.
yeah, you and the missus better batten down your hatches, get the monster energy drinks, get the caffeine, get the coffee going. Brew whatever it is you brew down there in Argentina, and keep drinking it, man, because you're gonna have a lot of sleepless nights for a very long time. But hey, this is what you and the missus signed up for when you became parents. So more power
Yeah,
to you, and I wish you nothing but the best with this new child of yours.
thanks.
So.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
Mm.
well, it's of course it's tough. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy, but in the end, we trust it'll be worth it.
Mm. There you go, buddy. Way to go. We got a family man on the show. Isn't that splendid? We thank you for thank you for sharing that with us and being with us for sure. Outside of that, let's cut right to the chase here. Let's get to the big surprise here. So you got a Kickstarter going on right now for your hit comic book series known as Night. I believe this is issue number 6. Tell us about it.
Yes, thank you for using the word hit. uh, it's well, it's issue six as you said. For us, it's a great step having reached this far, and we plan to at least keep going until I can finish the story that I want to tell. It's I mean, in indie comics, especially small press, you see so many cases of books that don't finish the stories, that they sometimes they don't even make it past issue one. And I should know I have backed a few that unfortunately never got past issue one. But no, here we are already on our second story arc, the second chapter of the second story arc. I plan to make three, and this issue in particular has the heroes recovering after a devastating loss, and they need to recover, lick their wounds, and get ready for the next fight because the villains will not rest. Night, for those that are new, for those that do not know, it's a fantasy themed superhero book. The characters are all street level, but they have powers, they have special abilities, all magic based. Well, most of them magic based. As of the second story arc, I started introducing a bit more um, real world elements, mixed with, of course, some light sci-fi. I mean, but yes, for example, the main protagonist is Knight, of course, and he's a man in search for the missing pieces of his soul. Along the quest, he tries on many names, many costumes. He he can't figure out why he is this way and what is his true purpose in life. That is, of course, until he meets Whisper. Whisper is a woman with powers of her own, and she comes to him because she needs his help to bring down her master, an ancient sorcerer who seeks to, well, wreak havoc, spill blood, basically spread evil. And Knight finds his purpose in joining this fight. He knows this is his true calling, and that's when things get interesting. You get to know all the all the villains, some more heroes that debuted in the second story arc. The villains, just to summarize them in just a few words, you got Executioner. He's a very skilled assassin. He can find the weak spot in everything or in anyone, more to say. You got Gravedigger. She's a necromancer. She can raise the dead with a touch and command an army of walking corpses. You got Dragon Breath. He's a hulking monster that breathes fire. And of course, the main villain is a sorcerer known from medieval times as the Devil's Claw. He can do lots of things with his magic. He can summon fire, lightning, winds, earthquakes, lots of stuff. So basically, to them, we add then in the second story arc, they called Brothers in Arms. You will see a group of vigilantes that want to join them, that want to join Night and Whisper on their crusade against the evil sorcerer and his Praetorians. And you also get to meet two more villains. Um, Dread is a sort of a circus freak. He was born without bones in his forearms. So basically, what he has is sort of a skin rubber hose that stretches, and he is and well, of course, he can either hit you from the distance or choke you with it. But then you got Weapon. He's the real threat. Weapon is a guy who has built for himself a genetically modified body that conceals large weapons inside of his body. He can pull a chainsaw from his palm. He can pull a machine gun from his chest. He can pull knives, blades, swords, you name it. So he's like a walking arsenal, and he's the newest dangerous threat that Knight will face. So well, I guess that's a big summary, but of course, those are the characters. A lot of stuff happens, and there's action, there's thrills, there's even a little bit of romance. And yeah, I invite everyone to check it out. And if you have already checked it out, I invite anyone who send me their feedback. I'm here, and I want to hear it.
Right on, man. Right on. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Congratulations to you and the creative team over there on putting this together. You got issue number 6 out right now, or out on the Kickstarter right now. So links are in the description to where you can check out the Kickstarter, contribute, back it, get things rolling on that. So I know you kind of hinted at this before, but just out of curiosity, how many issues do you plan on Night running for in total? Do you have a specific number in mind? Or are you just going to keep writing it until you feel like all 3 story arcs have
12.
been completed?
I have. Yes, that is. I have a plan. I have synopsis for what happens in each issue. I plan to run it for 12 issues, so this is half the road. and I plan on everything starting to pick up steam as of issue 7. Like I said, this in this issue, the heroes have to lick their wounds and come up with a plan to retaliate. After that, after issue 7, everything will start to pick up steam real fast, and I trust I can keep a steady pace of hitting you with action cliffhangers, and character moments, and I don't know, and give you and get you really hooked on this.
Well, great stuff, great stuff. And just out of curiosity, has anyone in your neck of the woods of Argentina been able to read any of the issues of this comic book? And if so, what's been the response in your neck of the woods?
Well, I've only shared it with friends and my wife, and yeah, overall, yeah, my wife's just fascinated by the fact I do this, by the art, and yeah, my friends actually think it's cool. They say that the character's origin, which is sort of shrouded in mystery, is one of the most original superhero origins that they've seen. Actually, that is something I really want to highlight, and I've had reviews saying the same thing, that there's like several Superman clones, Batman clones, uh, different takes on mutations or lab accidents, but uh, superhero origins like Knight are fresh and something unseen so far. So I hope that from what I have shown so far, and the mystery that I will reveal by the end of the story, I really hope that I leave the the fans and the readers satisfied.
Very understandable, and quite, I guess, I know in a way it would be considered to be noble. But great goals in mind, great things coming for you, in store for you for issue number 6 and beyond. So thank you for that. And once again, we are here with the guest of honor, Guido Martinez, on this episode of And I Quote. Do not forget to like and share this with everyone you know. If you have any questions for him, let us know in those comments. Let us know in the chat. And if you're joining us live or what is known as a replay, we specifically thank you so much for being with us. With that being said, yeah, Philbo Publications, Philip Russert is a very supportive individual. He has got a great mind for indie comics and a great team of people behind, working alongside of him, and he does a great job in his own right. So well done, Philip Russert and Philbo Publications. Look forward to having you back on And I Quote at some point in the future, because you are a beast. And if you look up the word support in the dictionary, more than likely there's going to be a picture of you right next to that word. So, I mean, he's so supportive. It's ridiculous how much he does for the community, indie comic book community. So well done to him and his team out there at Philbo Publications, including yourself, Mr. Martinez. So with that, with that being said, once again, links are in the description where you can find out more about the Kickstarter for issue number 6 of Night specifically. Excuse me, want to let you know that this episode of And I Quote and every episode of And I Quote is indeed powered by our good friends at Pod Decks. Now, Pod Decks are unique interview questions that you can hold within the palm of your very own hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing, broadcaster looking to have more meaningful conversations, you're going to want to look up our friends at poddex.com. Make sure you use that promo code Ryan10. That's RYAN10 for 10% off your order. Once again, that promo code is Ryan10. So there you go. Poddex wants to know, when you have had to study for a test back in the day, what is a proven successful method that worked for you, Guido?
Uh, my proven method was basically just to um, read whatever I had to read, and just try to memorize it. Of course, I would first highlight or underline the key elements that I believe, you know, um, trim out the fat from text, and then yes, and then just read it again and again and again, trying to memorize it until it's stuck. Of course, it also helps right when you get to class 5 minutes before the test and start running and checking things with your classmates to see what else you missed, so you can freak out. And yeah, that's at least you gotta keep your adrenaline high.
That's fair. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. What do you think one of the biggest cons of being famous would be?
The biggest cons of being famous.
Yeah, one of the biggest
Yeah.
cons. Yeah.
Yes, this is going to be mainly speculative because I have no idea what it's like. But I guess one of the biggest cons, if I were, I don't know, a famous movie star, a famous sports star, I guess the biggest con would have to be, I don't know, walking and having people stop me constantly for selfies, if they want to talk, or if I have want to have dinner with my family at a quiet dinner at a restaurant. Most likely, we're going to get interrupted a lot. So I guess yes, that would be the biggest con, which again isn't isn't big at all. I wish people would stop me and ask me and tell me how much they love my work. It isn't so big, but yeah, I get that some people complain about it, and it may get annoying. Truth be told, I wish I could be annoyed by that.
I could see that. I could see that. I can see where you're coming from with that point of view. If you could be a personal assistant to anyone, who would it be?
uh, that's a tough one. um I have to think. Let's see. I would really love to meet. I know that I want to meet either a famous musician or a, or a famous movie star, because I would just love to hang out with him and their friends. I guess right now I'd say probably Mark Hamill. Um, he he seems like a really fun guy to be around with. He seems like he's one of the best anecdote teller that I've seen. I mean, whenever he tells any story or any funny anecdote, he makes it shine. Like whatever he tells him, he makes it fun. He makes it interesting, and yeah, I think he'd be really fun to be around with. I don't know, perhaps other some famous musician. Let's see. Well, one that I did admire passed away a few years back. So if you had asked me this, I don't know, several years ago, I would have said Ronnie James Dio. But yeah, so yeah, we'll go with Mark Hamill since he's still breathing.
No, good answer. Good answer. I mean, you got, it's Luke Skywalker and the Joker all wrapped into one. So certainly nothing wrong with that choice when it comes to Mark Hamill. A lot of stories he could tell us. My goodness gracious. What is one thing people buy that you think is a total waste of money?
Oh, there's so many things. There's so many things. I don't know. I've seen so many products that are just such a waste. Uh, I don't want to get crucified. I don't want to get shot for this. But yeah, you know those memes that say, "What opinion would have you like this?" And you get John Wick's face with all the guns and knives pointing. Yeah. The coffee capsules. I I'm sorry, but y- they produce so little. You have to then throw away the capsule itself that weighs half of the product. Half the product is packaging, and you have to throw that away immediately for a small cup of coffee. I'd rather just either the coffee through the filter or the powdered coffee, and just mixing myself with hot water and milk. Uh, for me, I don't know. Yeah, I know I'm gonna get fire crucified for that, but it's the way I feel. I can't. I don't see myself going that route.
I see. I see. All right. All right. Hey, whatever works. To each their own. What is something that you do not mind paying more money for?
That I do not mind paying more money for.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be anything in the world.
Uh, well, I'd say food. Quality food costs much more money. Uh, I mean, you can get you of course you can always get food cheap food, but I would rather I don't know, say ice cream. I would rather pay for an ice cream that's twice the cost of another one if it's good, if it's better. I don't mind for that. Just an example. Same goes for pizza. I can probably get a pizza that's this thin, barely, practically see-through, and has the cheese applied with like mm, like in drops, and then and it's and it's hard. I would much rather pay more for a thicker pizza that's flooding with cheese. Um, I don't mean like the Chicago cheese soup style. But yeah, a fully loaded pizza. I think it's way better than a thin pizza that I could catch you with it. So, yeah, I'd say food, definitely.
Well, we all need food to survive, and there's nothing wrong with pizza because if the Ninja Turtles can eat it every single day of the week and twice on Sunday, why can't we? Pizza, pizza. It's
Absolutely, yeah. I don't
yeah.
know. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want the cheese that the Ninja Turtles eat, because the cheese seems like, I don't know, so elastic it goes on forever.
hmm Yeah, yeah. And some iterations of the series, the comic series, movies, or animated TV series, yeah, it would be considered that. But hey, one thing that is certainly not cheesy is this great episode of And I Quote with our guest of honor, Guido Martinez. Guido, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for being here and sharing with us some of the things you've been up to recently. Got this Kickstarter going on right now. Links are in the description below. If someone wants to know more about you or check out your comic book, where can they find you?
Absolutely. For the comic book, you get the Facebook page, which is facebook.com night.guido.martinez. And myself, you can also find on Facebook. I spend most of my time. Just look up Guido Martinez and go for the go for the option that has night as the profile picture. Um, I'm also on Twitter, well, X, formerly known as Twitter, at G_Mart8. I know it's complicated, but yeah, that's what I went through.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being here with us, kind sir. Links are in the description below. I'm going to talk to you here again in just a moment. My name is Ryan of And I Quote Channel. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5 and follow us across all forms of social media at And I Quote Channel. We're on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitch. We are on TikTok. So follow us there. Check us out. We got a lot of great things coming your way very soon. Once again, just to give you a reminder for programming purposes, movie watch-alongs and the Meeting of Fandom are going to be on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Meeting of Fandom is on the first Friday of every month. And then the rest of the month, you're going to get movie watch-alongs that are, where we celebrate a particular movie that turns a certain age. It's going to be a lot of fun. Next week, we have the 40th anniversary of The Karate Kid. And then the week after that, we kick it back to 1984 once again with The Never-Ending Story turning 40 years of age. So, yes, we're going back to the 80s for the next few weeks on Movie Watch-Along. But And I Quote will be on Saturdays at 12 p.m. EST, unless otherwise noted. Sometimes we switch up the day and the time depending on our guests' availability. So make sure you check out all the details there. I want to let you know that we are our goal is to hit 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So help us reach that goal. Once we do, we're going to throw a great big live stream celebration. It's going to include returning favorites, surprises, and special giveaways that you, our incredible viewers / subscribers, are going to be eligible to win. Also, if you're looking for merch, we got shirts, we got hoodies, we have stickers, we have coffee mugs, we have throw pillows, we got stationery, we got posters, all kinds of great things. Links are in our social media bio, so make sure you check out those there. Everything is on sale right now, so you may want to get yourself something nice, whether it's a shirt, hoodie, sticker, etc., etc. You're going to want to check out our And I Quote merch. Got some great designs, some great popular movie quote sayings, and all that good stuff. So definitely check that out. Once again, thank you so much for being a part of this episode of And I Quote. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell to be notified of when our videos go up or they go live. And remember, life is better when supporting indie creators. Take a look.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
Good morning! Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.